Hi everyone, my name's Anne-Marie. Welcome to this special card making project, a project on a Saturday. And this is a project that we're going to make a special card just for Mum. Now I know in the UK we've already had Mother's Day, but in the US, my friends across the pond, you might be looking for extra ideas and inspiration for Mother's Day. This project is going to feature a lot of Xyron in it because I want to show you how to make a quick card using lots of different textures and different surfaces, but using your Xyron machine. So we're not only going to use our Griffin products, but we're going to use a few other items as well. And it's kind of got a few special techniques in, but I'll explain as I go. If you're ever in doubt about a product I've used, because everything I do use has been available in the UK at some point or other, if it hasn't, then I will always say so. But for my UK friends, they've always been available here. Everything will be listed on my blog, and as always I shall add extra photos of not just the outside but the inside as well. So if you want to comment or message me, feel free. YouTube, I'm just starting to be able to reply to your messages. Try not to bombard me because we don't break my account again, but I am replying to you, and at the moment the replies are staying where they're put. So feel free to message me on YouTube and Facebook. I'm on Instagram, on Twitter, so you know the rest. Let's craft. The first thing I'm going to need is my base card. Now this is an ivory card, and it's just a normal standard ivory card. As always, we're going to use our bone folder to make sure we've got a nice sharp crease on the card. Don't forget, whatever card you're making, or even a scrapbook page, if you're giving it away, use one of your handmade buy stamps, add your name, and then the recipient knows that you've made it especially for them. Now the first thing that we're going to do is the inside of the card. Now I've said that this project features Xyron all the way through, and I want to show you some of the different ways and things that you can put through a Xyron machine. Now it doesn't matter whether you've got a big creative station or whether you've got one of the little sticker makers, lots of things will go through Xyron. So the first thing I've done for the base of the inside of the card, I've actually taken a metallic layer, I've cut it down to size which is 1/4 of an inch smaller than the inside of the card, and then I've used an embossing folder to emboss 2 corners of the metallic card. The embossing folder that I've used is from the 3D ornamental embossing folders from Griffin, and this is the Damask design. Now I don't know if you can see that. Beautiful pattern, and what I've done to get both corners, I've simply put the card in to the embossing folder. Instead of putting it all in, I've just taken it through one of the corners and then turned it round, and then I've done the same on the second corner. Now once I've embossed it, I've actually inked it with a deep purple ink, and then I've heat embossed it. So now I can take off the top layer of my Xyron. This is the layer that has the adhesive on, the top layer. So what happens is, when you pass your item through the Xyron machine, when it comes out, you simply take something like a bone folder, press down. I always press down on both sides. Then take the bone folder around the edge, and that splits the carrier sheet adhesive from the actual item. So it kind of breaks the seal, as it were. And then you can peel away. Now the top sheet has the adhesive on, so underneath there, that's now got the adhesive on. And we peel it away, and I can get rid of the top sheet. I can show you a trick with the top sheet when we go a little bit further in, but we don't need it for this one. So now the adhesive that was on the base, the carrier sheet has taken the excess away, and the adhesive is left on the back of our layer. Now, just because it is embossed, it still takes the adhesive. Now, I'm just going to go back to where I inked it. I inked the actual embossed area, and then I added clear embossing powder, and I heated it up with my heat embossing tool, and that's given me a lovely finish just on the embossed area. Something a little bit different, and obviously you can do those in advance and have them ready to use in whatever project you're going to use them for. So that looks pretty as it is, but we're just going to add a single flower, and this is from the Flower Pot Decoupage die cuts from Griffin. Now you see how I peeled that top sheet away, and there's areas inside the die cut that I've taken the actual, well, it's my bone folder I use, and I split the carrier sheet. And now, because this is a shaped item with, I'm going to say, holes, I just peel it off carefully because I don't want to tear it, and then peel it away from the sheet, and then I can add this to the inside of my card, and we don't cover all of the embossing up, compress it down, and then I've also got a sentiment from the same kit, and that was the Flower Pot Decoupage die cuts, and I'm going to add my sentiment probably, I think, through the tip of the flower, so I can just raise that section up a little bit where I've stuck it down and make it look as though it's all meant to fit. And this is permanent adhesive, but I've got time just to position everything, and then I can press it down and leave it to stay permanent. Now, we've got enough room for our messages and our sentiments to Mum, but the sentiment we've put in just says sending my love, and I think that's perfect. And what a pretty inside for our card. The ink I've used is a Stazon ink. I can't remember the name of it, but it's the deep purple in the Stazon range. I'll put that on the website, but I'm sorry, it just escapes me at the moment. Oh, I've written it down. Vibrant Violet. There we go. So that's the name of the permanent ink I've used. Now we can turn our attention to the front of the card. I'm going to use my bone folder again, just to make sure we've still got that nice sharp edge, and our card will stand up nicely. My base layer is again a layer of purple cardstock. I've inked around the edge, and I've had that through the Xyron machine for the adhesive. Now, I could have been frugal and saved the inside of this layer, but I haven't done because a lot of our layers are flat and I want to kind of keep it flush. My next layer is a sheet of cardstock from the Lilac collection, and again I've put it through the Xyron machine. I've inked around the edge with our Vibrant Violet ink pad, and I can marry those two layers up and press down nice and firmly. Now our next layer is our full embossed layer. Now this is where we've used our Damask 3D embossing folder, and we've used it totally. We've embossed the whole layer, and then I've cut around the edge. So I've cut, and I haven't cut it perfectly because I thought so many of you say, oh, I can't cut with a craft knife, I'm not that great, my eyesight's bad, or I've got terrible hands or something. So I thought, well, if I don't cut it perfectly, that'll help you, because then you don't think you have to be perfect. because you don't have to be perfect. Nobody's ever given a card back. You know, you don't give a card and somebody goes, oh, that's terrible, I don't like it, and give you it back. They'd never dream of doing that because you've spent so much time and effort on it. They're always going to say they love it, which they will. So I've embossed a sheet of cardstock, and then after embossing it, again, I've used my Vibrant Violet ink pad, and then I've used clear embossing powder again on it, and it just gives it a little bit of texture and shine. So I'm going to peel this away from my Xyron carrier sheet. I'm going to peel it away carefully, not for any reason, but I just, you know, nice and careful. I don't want to rip anything. And then I'm going to add this through the centre of the card, like so. There we go. And already it's looking great. So next, I've got one of the stamps from the Anna Griffin range, which is from the Easter and Love seasonal stamps. I've stamped it on lilac cardstock, and again I've used clear embossing powder over the top of the actual stamping, and I'm going to place that through the centre of our embossed layer, like so. Next, I've taken some of our flowers from the flower decoupage die cuts, and I've got two of the large, now I'm going to say these are lady slippers, orchids. I'm going to peel them away, and these are two of the full flowers, and I'm going to add them just about there, I would say. In fact, because we're on our Xyron, I'm just going to move that up a little bit, like so. And I can add the flowers just underneath, because over time that will, well, it's permanent. So you just get a little bit of movability now. So I can add the second flower. Now you remember when I said about the carrier sheet, and I'll show you a trick. If for any reason you've got a little bit of adhesive left, you can simply use your carrier sheet, tap it on to whatever you've used, and that will pick off any of the excess. So if you use a sticky bit, do it nice and quick, that will pick up anything that's left around the edges. Next, I'm going to add another two flowers. There we go. And we'll add one there and one to the other side. There we go. Now I've got the word Mum that I've die cut, and this is from a die that I've had. It's another range, I've had it quite a while. I've taken it through the Xyron machine, and I've made a shadow layer for it. So it's actually 2 layers of the word Mum, and I'm going to add that just through the top of our stamped oval at the top, and then I can finish the front with another lady slipper, just I think to the centre. And then the last thing I can add is my bow. Now this is a self-tied bow, it's not one in a packet. I've used some gorgeous lilac satin ribbon. I've tied the bow, and then I've put it through the Xyron machine. So now I can carefully peel my bow away from the carrier sheet, and then I can add this to the front of my card. And I'm thinking, because it's Xyron, if I want to just tweak something before it all gets very permanent, I can do. So now you know me, I'm never happy, apparently. That's what my husband says anyway. I can move the flower slightly to the bottom, and I'm going to put the bow just above it, like that. There we go. Obviously you can put the bow where you like. You can put it higher up, lower down. We can go back to the beginning and add it there. It's just to show you that you can move things round until it sets, as it were, but it's not a setting product. And that is our card finished. Now, if it wasn't for me chattering, it would be a really quick card. The time it's going to take you is the embossing and then using the heat embossing powder. Beautiful inside, gorgeous outside, stands up. Now it's all flat, so it's going to go in a normal envelope. It's not going to affect your postage, and obviously depending on where you are in the world, but there's no layers to that, and it's just such a gorgeous card for mum, and I am sure that would stand proud on any mum's mantelpiece. I just hope it's given you an idea of how you can use your Xyron and the elements that you can put through a Xyron machine. So it doesn't have to be just card or paper. You can emboss. It's not going to affect it in any way. You can put your ribbon through. It's not going to damage it in any way. And the adhesive is only going to stick to the surface that you put on flat. So it's just a very quick and easy and fantastic adhesive for using in your paper projects and crafts and scrapbook pages. So I do hope you've enjoyed this. I look forward to hearing what you think. And don't forget, this is a special. Please feel free to share any of my projects. And I'd just like to say thank you for watching. I shall see you next time.